Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is the Object 777 version 2. It's a tier 9 Russian premium heavy tank located on the eastbourne of Sand River under the command of Targy. Well, we've seen this one in action before. It's one of the premium tanks that are actually given for the rewards for collecting the tokens. And it's actually quite a good tank. Very tough tank, mainly because it's got a cast turret and a cast hull mounted centrally, and as you can see, it's very flat. It's armed with a 122mm gun capable of 440 alpha, penetrating 258mm with standard AP, and with the premium rounds it is capable of going up to 340mm of armor from heat. Okay, he's been spotted by the enemy, so somebody out there actually knows where he is, and I think it's that guy, the Viz-55, or it's a light tank that we haven't been able to spot yet. Okay, he's letting his teammates go up ahead. Ah, it may have been that guy, EBR. Now he's landed in a tier 10 game with tier 9 tanks in it, which means he's bottom tier, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he's not going to do well, because obviously he knows how to handle this tank. Okay, we can see a projectile up there. Nice shot. Good hit, high roll, 455. There's two Arty on either team, so this is going to be a bit of a problem, but he should be able to handle that. Gets a second hit, 448, another high roll. The standard reload is 13.33 seconds, and Targy's got 10.73. Another hit. This time he hits the 60 TP, gets a pen. Projector didn't last very long, did he? Okay, now he's hanging back for the moment, letting his teammates go, because of course they've got gun depression and Targy really doesn't. He's only got 6 degrees of gun depression, so he's much better off shooting at a distance like a tank destroyer, doing things like that. And that's a nice pen for 493. It's a high roll, so he's getting a lot of high rolls at the moment. In fact, he hasn't had a low roll yet, but that's probably going to jinx it. Now, when the action gets close, I think he'll start moving up to help those guys. At the moment, they seem to be doing rather well, and all three of those super conquerors have got 10 degrees gun depression, which Targy doesn't have. So he's actually doing the right thing to stay back and let them do their thing, and he can then pick up the pieces afterwards. Another hit, and another high roll, 449. So I didn't jinx him. As you know, I watch these replays as I record them. It's the first time I've seen this one. Another hit! Just below the gun on the front plate of an Object 705, and the Lipper prototype puts him out of the game. Now this is another one of the replays that was sent in just after they fixed the replay issue, and I think we're all very grateful that it's been done, although we were a bit annoyed that it took so long for them to do it. In fact, it's the longest break I think we've seen for the replays to be fixed for some time. And well, you know, we're a replay heavy site because of course we do far more videos than any other site. Over 8,500 already on our channel, which means that loads of players have had the opportunity to have their replay featured on YouTube, and they've got a record of some of their best battles. Yeah, we do that. We want them to have their moment where they show the best of their capability. That Viz-55 is a one-shot. Oh! He missed! Ah, I must have jinxed him after all. And he's taken one round from the Viz, and he blocks the second shot. The kill shot actually goes to the EBR 105 on our team, and luckily just got below that dune before the 705 could do more damage. He's going to try and put a round into the 705 side. He does. It's a low roll for 411. Okay, so no kills yet for Targy, but still early days. There's still 8 enemies out there. Plenty of opportunity. Now he's getting close to the riverbed now, and I think they are going to overwhelm that 705A, because we've got 3 teammates just short of him, including a Heshbon. Targy's going to approach using the Doom for cover. Don't think we have to worry about that T-55A. He's too far away. They've cleared the high ground above the enemy cap area, and they are starting to come in from behind. So now when he goes in, this is where it gets interesting. Okay, he's locked on. Oh, he ricochets off the front plate, but the 705 goes down anyway. And now it's just clearing the enemy tanks from the north edge of the map. I think the enemy Arty's on the run. He must be. Or both of them. They've got a batch at 155.58 and a batch at 155.55. Both of those are very fast Arties, so they're probably on the move, and they're in the north end of the map, or one of them actually went down into the riverbed. And he's now only got 1 hit point left, so he won't last very long. And he's gone. Okay, there's the last one. The last Arty, and he didn't last long. Now it's the TNHT Viz 51 and the T-55A. That's all that's left on the enemy team. So although targy hasn't got any actually kills as yet, he did collect a nice amount of damage on the enemy during the game by acting to his vehicle's strengths. That big gun, which has got decent alpha. There's only one left. It's the T-55A. He's a one-shot. And I think this is going to be a quick battle. Well, not hugely quick. But his gun's up. I think he said, well, I've done enough for this game. And he has. And that is a victory for targy. Here's the end of battle results. That was a third-class tank of a targy of 3 RTR in the Object 777 version 2. He managed to get a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points to his own vehicle, but no of medals. But he did get a win rate of 2,401, which is very good indeed. And he, as I said, he played to his vehicle's strengths. He doesn't have much in the way of gun depression. Those Super Conquerors did, so he was right to let them take the lead because they could fire over the dunes, whilst he could snipe at the enemy tanks from a long way away with only 6 degrees of gun depression. It worked. It worked well. Let's have a look at the team scores and see where he is. Well, that's the surprise to turn up for the books. One of the Super Conquerors managed to get 3,601 hit points of damage. He got the highest damage, but he didn't get a high caliber because it wasn't 20% of the enemy hit pool. He got a Confederate for his game. And the second highest damage in the game actually went to the T-55A. I think that was the last one who was killed in the game. 3,158 hit points went to him. And in third place, we've got targy. Yes, he's third on damage. 3,155 hit points went to him because he played to his strengths. Let's have a look at the number of kills. Well, one of the Super Conquerors managed to get 5 kills in that game. 2 kills went to the other Super Conqueror, to the EPR 105, the Leopard prototype, and the Object 261 on our team. And on the enemy team, only one tank managed to get more than 1 kill, and that was the T-55A who got the highest damage on for them. And only one other player actually managed to get a kill at all. So only 2 players really were up to it on the enemy team. When it came to base XP, targy's in 4th place because the Super Conqueror team actually managed to do rather well. 1,149 went to the guy who got the highest number of kills. 1,111 went to the Super Conqueror who got the highest damage in the game, and 906 went to the other guy who got 2,710. And yes, targy picked up 834 behind them. These guys are tier 10. Targy's only tier 9. Again, as I said, he played to his strengths because, of course, he's got no gun depression. They do. They could actually do the necessary ridge fighting. He couldn't, but he did work out well for him. So let's have a look at detail. Targy only fired 10 shots, but he got 9 direct hits on the enemy and 7 penetrations. His gun let him down at the moments when he needed it the most. The 705, he fired at that guy, and the 60 TP when he aimed the shot it wasn't a 60 TP, it was a Viz 55. He aimed the round at the rear of Viz 55 as he was retreating, and he didn't pen. It bounced off. So unfortunately, auto-aim let targy down at that moment. If he'd gone to manual aim, I think he would have been a bit better off. But sadly, it worked against him at the moment. So those 2 shots that didn't pen were the ones where he would have got a kill, or at least he would have got a kill on the Viz 55 for sure, because he was a one-shot at that point. He also got damage of 3,155 hit points, of which 2,744 were at more than 300 meters. Received 3 hits from the enemy, only one of which actually penetrated, and that was the shot from the 705 that went through his side. 2 non-penetrations and 1,140 hit points blocked by armor. He damaged 4 of the enemy, didn't get any kills, but he got 805 hit points of damage assistance in the game. He earned 48,515 credits for the battle and 80,000 for completing a mission, 128,515 altogether. And after repair of the vehicle, he actually ended up with a profit of 124,225 credits. 1,251 XP for the battle, times 5 for the first victory, 63 for this being a premium vehicle, and 6,318 experience points altogether. So the 777 version 2, it's actually quite a decent tank. It's one I did select myself to get before I got the Char Future 4. And I was very happy about it because this tank actually is very good in level combat. It's not very good in dune fighting or ridge line fighting, but it is good in level combat because the shape of that turret actually works in its favor. You can see from the armor profile that yes, it's very strong at the front of that turret indeed. 258 coming out at about 270 there. It's got a strong point here along the upper plate, but you can see it's so incredibly well angled. Only 132 millimeters of armor, actually coming out at about 300. And there is a weak spot there for the viewports on the driver, but it's only a small weak spot indeed. Most people would not aim for that at all. If they're going to, they go for either the lower plate here, which is 150 millimeters, coming out about 248. And if you can get hull down with just the lower plate hidden, it's going to be very difficult for the enemy to penetrate when they're looking at this turret. You could overmatch the roof if you can get the shell in, but it's more likely going to ricochet. 15 millimeters of armor on top, coming out at 108 with the angling, but it is so well angled, you're more likely to ricochet off that plate. And you've got a cupola here again, 45 millimeters, but it's very, very thin indeed. You need very accurate gun to get it to penetrate through that cupola on either side. It's only 45 millimeters, 80 coming out there, 85 coming out there. Let's have a quick look at the live model. Yeah, look at that. You see, the frontal armor is very, very, very strong indeed. For a 122 millimeter round being fired at it, because that's the one we've actually got selected there, you can see, so long as you can cover that lower plate, you've actually got a very, very strong hull and a strong turret. And if you look at the sides, well, yes, you can penetrate the sides of this vehicle because it's only 115 millimeter on the hull, 180 on the side of the turret. Much easier to penetrate the rear, of course. If you're Arty and you're firing down on this thing, 50 millimeters on top, difficult to penetrate. And you haven't got much of a rear engine deck to work with because, of course, this turret is more centrally mounted. Most tanks have a turret which is at the front of the vehicle, like, most of them conventionally, with a rear engine deck which is quite big. This one doesn't have much of an engine deck at all, only 25 millimeters of thickness of armor. So it's a very tough cookie to crack. Now, if I try to give you the modules, unfortunately, Wargaming has not shared the modules with anyone. But if I was to look at that, I would say the gunner's on the right-hand side, as we're looking at, because there's the gunner's sight. The tank commander is directly behind him. The loader's on this side of the vehicle. The driver is in the center up front. If we're looking at ammo, it's probably down near the driver and directly underneath the turret. The engine will be at the back, sandwiched between 2 fuel tanks. And that's about all I can guess based on the configuration of the layout. But if I was to say, is there an ammo rack in the turret? I would think so. More than likely, it's on the other side of this turret. It wouldn't be, with the loader sitting here, it's more likely the ammo rack is actually in front of him rather than behind him. But I could be wrong. I think it's very likely that the commander on the other side of the vehicle will actually have the radio, but if you're trying for the ammo rack, it's probably better to try putting the shells directly underneath the turret in the hull, because with a flat turret like this and a flat hull, they're going to want to put the ammunition fairly close so that the loader can get it out. Otherwise, it's going to be a bit of a squeeze. But yes, so that's the modules I think might be on the Object 777 version 2. So once again, thanks to Targy for sending through a quick replay to prove that the replay system works on Salty Jedi record site. Yes, we've got that working at last. It only worked intermittently for a while for European users, but it's now definitely using for other people. So please do send in your links to the replays where you've uploaded them on the Salty Jedi site, and hopefully then I can get the replays done for you. But that was an interesting battle, and it just proves that even if you haven't got gun depression, you can still play and get a lot of damage on the enemy from a long way away. Just play the tank like a tank destroyer and do damage on the enemy that way. If you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm, and thank you for watching.